The nest box on the left is the one they prefer. They lay in there, and look at those beautiful eggs. As I put her down, you'll see Ruby come running over because, yeah, she likes to be picked up too. Look how excited Tuxedo is. Hello friend, welcome back to Safe at Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Elena and welcome. So today I am just doing a few things to prepare for the weather that we are expecting this weekend. It is not going to be like the weather people in the north are expecting. But for me, in this part of New Mexico, it's an event when we get rain or snow. So I was cleaning those little water troughs. I call them little water troughs. I got them for my chickens. I have a 3-gallon waterer in my chicken run, but I want to have more areas for the chickens to spread out and drink. I have 20 hens. So now that these little troughs are back in place, I will fill them with water and I will add some apple cider vinegar. There are a few of my hens that love this water trough. As you can see, this girl right here is one of them. So I put about a tablespoon per gallon of apple cider vinegar in their water. Normally, I would be doing this with a hose, but when the weather gets below freezing, I don't like to use my hose because I don't want it to freeze. So this waterer really needs to be tightened for it to work properly, and I fought with it for 2.5 minutes before I gave up and decided to move on to something else. So when we're going to have weather in the teens, I like to make sure that the hens have enough bedding, and I like to give them a new layer of bedding. So I use the deep litter method or the composting method in their coop. I just pulled a whole bunch of bedding out of the nest box on the left. They don't lay in there very often, just once in a blue moon, but they fill it with bedding. The nest box on the left is the one they prefer. They lay in there, and look at those beautiful eggs. They lay in there, and between the nest box and the wall, they will squeeze themselves in there and lay. I don't know why. So let me leave you with them here for a minute while I put these eggs away. Whenever I'm doing anything in the coop, they want to be in the coop. They're super curious. I am using this product called Stall Dry, and it's designed for stalls to keep the urine smell down. It's extremely absorbent, and I use very little for my coops. This bag has been around for 5 years. I used to spread it out with a little rake, but I find that the chickens do a good job of that, so I don't bother. I just sprinkle it around, and then I add the bedding. I like fine pine shavings for bedding. I find that it breaks down better in the compost bin and in my raised beds when I use the bedding in there. Something that I miss this time of year is putting flowers in my nest boxes and in my coop. I like to put calendula and chamomile, and I use these lavender or organic lavender buds that I purchase. When I don't have that, I like to just put a drop of lavender oil in there, but I didn't bring it out and I'm not going back in for it. And that is just for bringing a calming effect to my chickens, not for making making the coop smell nice, although it does smell nice. But without the flowers, my coop smells like nothing. The stall dry and the pine shavings do the job. So this is something new that I wanted to try, this pelletized bedding. When it rains or snows, my run can get muddy, and I hate having the chickens walking around in mud. So I wanted to sprinkle this bedding onto the ground and then put the straw on top. Here's my girl Jazzy. As I put her down, you'll see Ruby come running over. Because, yeah, she likes to be picked up too. My Ruby girl. She's adorable. Anyway, I wanted to put these pellets on the ground and then have the chickens spread the straw on top. But in an effort to be helpful, the mister brought the bale of straw in here yesterday, and so they spread it out before I could get the pellets in here, which is fine. I think it'll work fine. The purpose of the pellets is that when they get wet, they expand, and it's like sawdust, and it's very absorbent. So I think it'll do the job, even though I am putting it on top of the straw. Isn't it interesting how they spread the straw on one side of the run? And isn't it interesting that it's almost in a straight line? I do have some more straw that I will bring out, and hopefully they will spread it on the left side. I don't know what happened to the footage showing me filling that 3-gallon waterer and adding apple cider vinegar to it, but I did. And here I'm just bringing them some treats. We are loving these new scratch, and so are they. So I took a bit of a break, and now I am taking care of the goats. That's little Dottie, and tearing around the corner is her mama, Junebug. They like black oil sunflower seeds. I put it in their feed, but I also bring it to them from time to time, just like this. My goats, I hope, are bred. Both of them. They spent 2 months with the cutest little buckling. Well, he wasn't a buckling, he's a full-grown buck. He's adorable, and he was with them for 2 months, and I hope that he did the job. I am pretty confident that Junebug, the one with the horns, is bred. I'm just not sure about Dottie. I have noticed that they're eating more of the hay, and I read that in their 3rd month of gestation, they start eating more. So hopefully it's good news. Dottie's just always been a chubby girl. So because we are expecting the weather, I am not putting any hay in their outside feeder. I will just put hay on the inside because I am afraid of it getting wet. Although it is under shelter partially, I just want to make sure. The other thing I wanted to do was to top off their minerals and baking soda. I forgot the baking soda and I'm not going back in for it. There is some in there. So for people out in the northern areas that are getting extreme weather, they are probably bringing in a bale of hay for their animals and several bales of straw. I have seen that online, people bringing in several bales of straw to spread for their animals. I don't have to worry too much about that, but I am going to just replenish the straw on the platform where they sleep. I can tell that it's flat because of the areas they sleep in, so I just want to make sure that they are warm. So I'm gonna just add a couple of flakes up there for them. Mainly, I am trying to do these things today so that I don't have to come out tomorrow to do them, or the day after. For us, that would be Sunday and Monday. So after I replenish the straw on their platform, I just take care of some areas on the floor where I can see the pallets. The floor is, well, this entire barn is pallets, but the pallets that I can see on the floor, I just want to make sure those are covered. And then I get some more of this straw and I spread some from the gate where I come into the pen and walk up to the door of the barn, because it is sand and dirt and I don't want to have to walk in mud and I don't want them to walk in mud, so I will spread some of it there. And now I'm just going to take care of their water. They get apple cider vinegar in their water as well. I anticipate that their water will freeze, and so the mister will probably come out in the water in the morning and break the ice on their water. So I'm going to take a little break and then do a few things to take care of us. So I'm starting by moving some of this ice melt to the back patio so that we don't have to worry about slipping and sliding back there. So we have ice melt on the front patio and the back patio. This box used to be for our outdoor cats, and I decided that I would use it as wood storage. So the mister had the wagon full of wood here on the patio, and I'm just moving it to this box, and then he can refill it with wood and bring it back up. I just want to have as much wood as possible here on the porch near our front door, so we don't have to worry about going out to get wood. This wagon has a couple of flat tires, but it still serves the purpose of moving wood around. Okay, I'd say we are ready for the weekend. The mister put even more wood over here. He brought some of the longer logs for this. Yes. He brought some of the longer logs for this, and he filled the wagon, and it's all up here on our front porch. I'm sitting in my car as it starts to drizzle, watching these guys have some fun. Look how excited Tuxedo is. And then came snow. Thanks for hanging out with me today, friend. Till we see each other again, please be safe.